Ladies and gentlemen, Harley Davidson fans, and motorcycle enthusiasts across the globe, welcome back to the Bike Alex. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most highly anticipated comebacks in the motorcycle world, the 2025 Harley Davidson Knucklehead. This isn't just a bike, it's a resurrection of one of the most legendary machines ever to roll off the Milwaukee assembly line. Known originally for defining Harley's golden era back in the 1930s and 1940s, the Knucklehead is now reborn with 21st century engineering, cutting-edge technology, and of course, that unmistakable Harley soul. But does this modern interpretation live up to the heritage of the iconic Knucklehead? Can Harley really blend retro authenticity with modern-day performance? Well, stick around, because we're going to break it all down. From the bike's history, design, engine, performance, ride feel, features, comparisons, and final verdict. By the end of this video, you'll know whether the 2025 Knucklehead is truly the rebirth of an American classic or just another nostalgia play. A brief history of the Knucklehead. Before we jump into the new machine, we need to rewind the clock and appreciate where the Knucklehead came from. Introduced in 1936, the Knucklehead was Harley Davidson's first production motorcycle with an overhead valve V-twin engine. Its nickname came from the unique shape of its rocker boxes, which resembled clenched fists or knuckles. Back then, it wasn't just a motorcycle, it was a revolution. The Knucklehead ushered Harley into a new era of speed, reliability, and style. It became the bike of choice for rebels, outlaws, and free spirits. Riders customized them, raced them, and used them to define what American motorcycling meant. Even after it was discontinued in 1947, the Knucklehead lived on in the hearts of collectors, restorers, and hardcore bikers. Fast forward almost 80 years later, Harley Davidson is now reaching back into its vault of legends to bring the Knucklehead into the modern age. And the 2025 model is their boldest attempt yet to blend heritage and innovation. Design and styling, retro meets modern. Let's talk about the first thing everyone notices, the design. When you first lay eyes on the 2025 Knucklehead, you immediately recognize its DNA. Harley has gone all in on retro authenticity while subtly integrating modern elements. The fuel tank is teardrop-shaped, echoing the original 1936 design, with a beautifully retro Harley Davidson badge. The knuckle-style rocker boxes are back, recreated in modern alloys but styled to look just like the originals. This instantly gives the bike that iconic silhouette. The frame has a hardtail-inspired look, but make no mistake, Harley has fitted it with modern suspension cleverly hidden within the design. The fenders are wide and flowing, hugging the wheels just like the classic bikes of the 30s and 40s. Chrome accents, spoke wheels, and a hand-stitched leather seat all scream vintage craftsmanship. Yet, when you look closer, you see 21st century updates. LED lighting seamlessly blends into the retro housings, the instrument cluster is a mix of analog dials and a discrete digital screen, and the overall build uses lightweight modern materials without sacrificing that heavy, muscular Harley feel. This is where Harley nailed it. The 2025 Knucklehead doesn't feel like a cosplay of the past, it feels like a respectful continuation of the legend. The heart of the beast, engine and performance. Now, let's talk about what's under the tank, the true soul of the Knucklehead. The 2025 Harley Davidson Knucklehead features a 1,770cc Milwaukee 8-knuckle V-twin, a modern reinterpretation of the original OHV motor. Harley engineers went all out to create a motor that not only looks the part but feels alive with raw character. The engine delivers around 120 horsepower and 130 pound-feet of torque, making it both powerful and responsive. It's air and oil-cooled, preserving that mechanical authenticity while still meeting modern emission standards. Harley even tuned the exhaust to deliver a deep, rumbling note reminiscent of the old-school Knucklehead growl. One of the coolest details. The knuckle-shaped rocker boxes aren't just cosmetic, they house advanced valvetrain tech while honoring the historic design. This is a brilliant nod to tradition with modern execution. On the road, the engine feels raw but refined. Twist the throttle, and you're rewarded with instant torque, that signature Harley vibration, and a visceral connection between rider and machine. Unlike some of Harley's touring models, the Knucklehead doesn't pamper you, it excites you. Modern features, tech without compromise. While Harley stayed true to heritage, they didn't ignore modern expectations. The 2025 Knucklehead is loaded with subtle but powerful technology. Ride modes: Sport, Road, and Heritage, adjusting throttle response, suspension, and traction. ABS and traction control, discreetly integrated to keep the classic look while providing modern safety. Hidden suspension, modern shocks disguised within a vintage hardtail frame design. Infotainment system, a small, discreet TFT screen blended into the gauge cluster, gives navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, and diagnostics without ruining the retro vibe. Keyless ignition and security, standard on modern Harleys, but hidden in design. This is where Harley struck a balance. The bike never feels too digital or cluttered with tech. Instead, it feels like a classic bike with conveniences that don't get in the way. Riding experience, on the open road. Let's move to what truly matters: how does it ride? The 2025 Knucklehead is designed for one thing: pure emotional connection. When you throw a leg over, the bike greets you with a wide stance and a comfortable leather saddle. The handlebars are high and slightly pulled back, giving you that cruiser posture. The first push of the starter rewards you with a deep, throaty rumble that shakes your bones in the best way possible. On the highway, the Knucklehead is surprisingly smooth. The suspension absorbs imperfections, while the long wheelbase gives it stability at speed. In the city, the torque-heavy engine makes quick work of traffic, though this is a bike that begs to stretch its legs on open roads. Cornering is better than you might expect for a retro-inspired cruiser. Harley's modern chassis engineering and hidden suspension deliver predictable handling while still keeping that vintage look. Braking, powered by Brembo components with ABS, feels confident and modern. But the best part, the soul of the ride. You feel every vibration, hear every roar, and connect with every mile. This isn't about numbers, it's about nostalgia, freedom, and identity. That's the Knucklehead promise. Comparisons, old versus new and against rivals. Naturally, fans will want to know, how does the 2025 Knucklehead compare to the original and to its modern rivals? Versus the original Knucklehead 1936-1947, the new model keeps the aesthetics and spirit alive but adds modern reliability, performance, and safety. It's not a replacement, it's a tribute that you can ride daily without worrying about breakdowns. Versus Harley's own lineup, compared to the Softail Heritage Classic, the Knucklehead feels more retro and raw. Against the Fat Boy, it's less about bulk and more about style and heritage. It slots perfectly as Harley's heritage flagship. Versus rivals, against Indian's Chief Bobber Dark Horse or Triumph's Bonneville Bobber, the Knucklehead wins in heritage. Credibility. It's not just inspired by history, it is history reborn. Customization potential. Of course, no Harley is complete without customization. The 2025 Knucklehead is built with endless possibilities in mind. Harley has already announced a full catalog of accessories, from ape hanger bars to fishtail exhausts to retro saddlebags. This means every rider can make their Knucklehead unique, just like the custom culture that grew around the originals. Expect to see these bikes transformed into bobbers, choppers, and everything in between in the years to come. Pricing and availability. The 2025 Harley Davidson Knucklehead is not cheap. Prices start at $27,999 USD and go up depending on customization. It's positioned as a premium heritage bike, limited in numbers, and targeted at collectors, enthusiasts, and riders who crave authenticity. Harley has announced limited production runs to maintain exclusivity, so if you want one, you'll need to move fast. Final verdict: a worthy resurrection. So, is the 2025 Harley Davidson Knucklehead worth all the hype?